Hello to you all, and good afternoon from all of us here at Julian Campbell Foundation. And here we are in our 30-day showcase challenge. And today I've got somebody really special. Well, all of our volunteers and members of the organisation are special. And I've been speaking about Yasemin, and Yasemin today. Yasemin is one of our lead mood mentors, and works here, with us in the UK. And Yasemin is going to come and share some of her experiences of being a mentor and being a mood mentor, and to answer any questions that you may have. And if you're watching, where are you watching from? If you can just put that down, as well as any questions you may have. So I'm just going to add Yasemin. Good afternoon, Yasemin. It's really great to see
Hello.
you. Hello,
Great to
how
be here.
are
I'm
you?
great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really excited. So,
Yeah.
how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great today. Very excited to be here as well and
Yeah,
ready for sharing my experiences. And hello to everyone listening as well.
yeah.
Oh,
Looks
I
like we've
can't hear them back, but
got Khadija from London. Good afternoon, Khadija. And we
hello.
have Yasemin here, and Yasemin's going to share her experiences. And I just want to start by saying that what was it? What was it that attracted you to the foundation?
So, I was in my second year of studying psychology and I was looking for experiences in the mental health field. And I was looking at all sorts of different volunteering opportunities that I could have joined. And what it was about JCF that I really was attracted to was that I found it was very accessible, not just to mentors, but to mentees as well. And I really appreciated that it was empowering young people to look at their mood and to try and give them an opportunity to take their mood and their emotions into their own hands, really.
Mm,
And I also struggled when I was younger in the NHS waiting list system for mental health, and so I really appreciated that the foundation was filling that gap. And so I was like, okay, this is great. So I really wanted to jump in and participate, really.
brilliant, brilliant. And what did you think once you were in there? And you were doing the training and everything. Can you just
Yeah,
yeah,
I was really impressed by the training. And what I really loved was that it felt very collaborative and you could do the trainings and the drop-in sessions with other mentees as well. So I got to meet a lot of people and to work collaboratively with them. So yeah, that was really exciting for me as well because I did my university degree through the Open University, which was virtual. And I
mm,
met a few people, but I didn't know very much a lot of people that were interested in the mental health field outside of that. So it was really nice to get to meet people outside of my university who are also interested in the same causes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I really get that. And so like after the training and with your first mentee, can you just just share with us like your experiences?
Yeah, of course. So at first I remember feeling very nervous, which
Mm,
is totally normal because I
yeah.
never did done anything like this before. And it was quite challenging at first hearing a young person's sort of struggles and sorrowful story. But what I learned was because that was something that I wanted to explore about myself, whether I could deal with coping with listening to young people. But I learned that you really build a resilience over time, and seeing the young person develop in their confidence and develop ways in which they find for themselves through your help, of developing ways through they can manage their own mood and seeing what works for them, what brings them joy, and doing more of that, and giving them a space to talk things through and seeing them flourish really over the weeks. It really makes it worth it. Any challenges that you might have had, it really does make it worth it. Um, yeah, so That was my experience with my first mentee. And it really gets easier as well as you go through the mentees. Each story is different, but you really do build a resilience. And it's so rewarding as well. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. And also as well, I mean, you're now a lead mentor, which is like, the position that, you've worked hard, and
mm,
it's well deserved, where you show other mentors and you support them. And I know as well that you did some mentoring in the school as well, like a drop-in mentor. What was it? Can
yes.
you talk about that and maybe the differences between that and having your own mentee?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So that was a really wonderful experience and completely different in a way because I would go into the school just to give everyone an idea of what the role would be like. So I would go into the school at a specific time and I would be there for a few hours in the day. And then we would have about 20 to 30 minute slots of time for each child. And so I got to see a lot of different young people from, I think, year 7 till sixth form. And it was just, again, really rewarding because I got to introduce the foundation and introduce just a way of like giving the young people an idea that it was helpful and healthy to talk about their struggles and to explore what different things that they could do that worked for them to manage their mood. And because it was going out to so many children and young people, it felt really, yeah, it was a really, really rewarding experience. So I'm
Yeah.
really happy that I got to experience that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it occurs to me like there's a difference, isn't there, between having one mentee that you
Yeah.
see once a week for up to 12 weeks, and then all of a sudden, like you're there for
Mm.
for like each day. It sounds like
Yeah.
there's been 10
Yeah. It was, it was a lot of people.
coming in.
Yeah. Big difference.
Yeah, really big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, and did you see any themes, like anything like, any, for example, what certain age groups were dealing with? Did you see like any
Mm.
patterns or, or anything like that at all? Differences between girls and
Yeah,
boys.
absolutely. There were, oh, yeah, there were definitely themes. One theme that ran throughout is the pandemic kept coming up. And
Mm,
especially because I heard a lot about the social isolation that they were dealing with, unfortunately, and how it impacted their schoolwork, especially. A lot of them were, especially the older years when they were going into exams, they were really anxious because of the impact the pandemic had on their studies, and some of them felt like they couldn't catch up. So that was one theme that came up. Another theme, especially with the girls, was body image, which
mm,
I was expecting because it's natural in a way when you're that age, when you're a young teenager. But what really stood out was the fact that a lot of them were concerned with social media and their body image.
mm,
So Instagram, and I didn't grow up with this, so it was new to me to hear that these teenagers were struggling so much with comparing their bodies to Instagram models or even friends that were on were on Instagram and how they compared. And so yeah, that was very eye-opening as well and a big theme. Um, with the boys, I saw a lot of, unfortunately, vaping issues that
mm,
came up, especially with bringing vapes into school and peer pressure and things like that. And unfortunately, getting involved in selling them, which
mm,
was, yeah, quite, again, surprising, but and unfortunate. But it was a theme that came up, unfortunately.
mm.
Um, yeah, so that I can remember those ones mainly. Yeah. And we did get more girls that came in than boys, I would say. That tended to open up a bit more.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
those were the main things.
yeah. And also as well, did you find out maybe that the younger ones opened up a bit more, or more, they were quicker to open up than the older ones?
I did find that, and I also didn't see as much of the older young people.
Hmm.
I I maybe saw. I don't think I saw many sixth formers or even year 11s and some year 10s. It was definitely more the younger age groups that
Hmm.
came in to see me. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
And I suppose in a way that's why it's really great to start the intervention, that we have,
Yeah.
at a really young age, because then it's easier for them to, and just before we go back, Yasemin, I have Rose Evans here has a question. It says, hi, it's Rose from Raysbury, UK, inspiring speaker. You have so much warmth. Thinking about the mentee-mentor relationship, a question, how do you ensure professional boundaries stay maintained? Thanks for this, Rose.
That's a good question. Professional boundaries. I was well, we always have the support of lead mentors and, of course, Jackie as well. And I would try to avoid speaking about myself, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Sometimes I would give examples, but I wouldn't tell them personal information about myself or ask them for any irrelevant personal information. And at the beginning of sessions, we would outline what the expectations would be over the few weeks. So that was helpful as well. Um, and again, we would have touch bases if we weren't sure about something. Let's say it didn't happen to me, but I would hear maybe there was a boundary that was a bit blurry during a session between a mentor and a mentee. Not in like a bad sadistic way or anything like that. I just want to make that clear. But we would have the support in those drop-in sessions where we could discuss those. So it was really that aspect of it was made easy, I would say. Wasn't something I was always I wasn't too concerned because it was pretty much yeah, we had help for that kind of guidance.
Yeah, thank you, Yasmin. And yeah, thanks. And Khadija said, "Oh, how do I sign up for this?"
Oh, lovely. It's worth it. It's so rewarding. It's such an amazing foundation. I would really recommend it for anyone. It's really, really rewarding. So if you can, please sign up. It's a great experience.
Yeah. And maybe Khadija, just send me a message. You can send us a message, or I'll message you after this, and then we can have a conversation. So, you know. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. If there's any more, please do write them down. I'm just going to go back to Yasemin now. And yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, isn't it? What you were saying about, body image. It's such
Mm.
so crucial. Did you find it so much like, was it more the girls that the, had the issues with body image, or did you find like some boys were kind of like, bringing it up as well?
I did find it more with the girls. Again,
Mm,
it could just be that maybe the boys were more reluctant to bring it up because we don't really, I guess, we don't really hear it that often coming from
mm,
boys. So maybe it was just a reluctance to bring it up, but it was definitely more the girls, I would say. Yeah, maybe
yeah.
that was a fault on my part as well. Maybe I should have um, not brought it
No, no,
up, but made it more comfortable.
yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
not because as you said, like you were saying that the boys had more, there was more around the vaping for them, you know.
yeah, vaping, social status, that kind of thing. Troubles in the classroom about concentrating, or getting into trouble with their teachers, with the boys. I would feel, yeah, that kind of thing more
Yeah.
often. Yeah.
And in your experience, Yasmin, is there any, do you remember a young person that, I don't know, like, really impressed you, or you made there was a big breakthrough, or maybe they were resisting when you were showing them how to manage their moods, and they kind of like really took off with it and hit the ground running. Is
Yeah,
there anybody that, yeah?
there is someone who comes to mind. This was when it was one-to-one, and it makes me smile just thinking about it because, well, I'll get to why, but this was one where I actually went to his house every week for 12 weeks for his sessions, because he doesn't live quite far from me. He lives quite close. So, and that was really, it was amazing to see, because he started out quite reserved and quiet. And I almost got the sense like his parents were really encouraging him to talk with me, but he was a bit reluctant. But then as the weeks went on, he just opened up and flourished. And it was just so amazing to see that his confidence was growing stronger, because he struggled a lot with his attention in the classrooms and going on his phone too often and not being able to organize his time in a way where he could complete his homework and things like that. So at first I thought to myself, I don't think I have the skills to be able to help him, honestly. But I think I was completely wrong. I think a lot of people are wrong that way, in which they try to they limit themselves, when in actual fact you can be of really great help. So we went through different strategies, like really small incremental steps that he could take, that he could actually do and feel accomplished doing them, that would help towards his own goals of being more organized and increasing his attention span at school. And it really worked. And the confidence that he gained from watching himself complete these goals was so rewarding. And it was the last day that I saw him. They got me, it was so sweet, they got me chocolates and flowers, and his mom was crying and I was crying, and it was one of the best days of my life. I just felt so happy and so grateful that I was there to witness someone come out of their struggles, at least for the time being. And I'm sure he learned that it was healthy for him to reach out to people. So that was really rewarding to know as well. So that was a big example of someone that, really stood out.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's, and like, there's research that shows that for each young person we make a difference with, they then go on to make that same difference with 2,000 people in their lifetime. So it's just really interesting the impact that you've had, and that he will then go on. That's why it's so great to work with young people. Then they, not even to mention the generations to come that we won't even know about. Well, I won't know about because I won't be here. But but that impact will be passed on, through, by him to others. So that's really, really impressive. Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear as well.
Yeah. Is there any other example? Sorry, I'm being grabbalicious now.
There was someone as well who, I think it was my first mentee. It was online. It was virtual sessions. And at first, again, she was very shy, and because it's very hard for anyone to open up about your emotions. So I can't even imagine what it would be like for someone so young as well. Talking to someone virtually that they haven't met in person must be very scary. So at first, she would not put on her camera, which is fine. And then I saw slowly she would switch her camera on, but she would be hiding away. And then gradually, she would open up a bit more. And that was another one where I didn't get to see her parents online, but so the gratitude that came from her at the end, it was so lovely, because going through it, because she was quite closed, I didn't know whether I was being much help, and I really wanted to reach through to her. But then at the end, when she told me that she really found the sessions helpful and that she was really grateful, it just opened my eyes, like, wow, this really does make a difference to young people. So yeah, that was another one that was really, really lovely, a lovely memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, Yasemin, what's your favorite? Like, you know, mentoring in person or online, or like a bit of mix? You know, do you like to mix it up? What do you prefer and why?
So virtually, the pros are that it's very accessible and it's very practical. But my favorite is in person, because you get to see the nuances of the body language better, and it just feels a bit more personal, and yeah, just that human connection is more heightened, I would say. But having said that, virtually, if anyone's listening and they're thinking it might not be impactful virtually, but it totally is, I would say. It's really rewarding, just as rewarding virtually as well, and it's really helpful and useful to people or children who might not be able to access you, or who might be reluctant to see you in person, but they might think, oh, okay, but virtually is slightly easier for them. So I think it's better to have it virtually and in person for that reason, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And yeah, and the final question about, you know, how, you know, has the mood mentoring, and has it impacted you in that, you know, what are your plans for the future? Like, you know, is it kind of like never again? You know, I don't really want
Not at all. Not at all. Actually, the opposite.
to.
So it's impacted me hugely. It's shown me what path I want to take and what I really value and what's important to me. And I want to be able to continue to offer help, and so my plans are to be a professional adolescent counselor and to work towards that.
Yay.
So yeah, in that way, it's been hugely impactful, because it's changed my trajectory for my future. So yeah, it's been so hugely rewarding, just knowing that you've helped in a way. So yeah, if anyone's thinking of doing it, is hugely rewarding, and I would say just go for it, really. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot for that, Yasemin. Thank you for, coming and speaking out and, you know, sharing your experiences. It's been really great. And so we're going to say goodbye to everybody together, you know, and if there's any questions, I mean, like you're here on LinkedIn as well, aren't you, Yasemin? And, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. And so you don't mind if anybody contacts you just to ask you any
Oh no,
questions?
not at all. Yeah, of course I can. Of course.
Or contacts me, Jackie Campbell, or even the Julian Campbell Foundation, because we've got a page there as well. So thank you for, you know, especially to Rose and Khadija, thank you for listening. Thank you for your questions and your participation. And
Yeah,
we'll be
thank you.
back again tomorrow, you know, with more, you know, showcasing what we do behind the scenes in Julian Campbell Foundation. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.